Hey, good morning guys. Well, I guess if you're watching it in the morning time, good morning. Welcome to the channel. My name is Kyle. Here on K6 Outdoors, today we're going to be installing some turn signals on this 2025 Polaris. This specific kit from Ravek. Full disclaimer, I bought this myself with my own money, so no promotion here. So as we work through this, I'll give you guys my honest, unbiased opinion. This is for the 2025 Ranger XP 1000 Northstar edition. It does also fit the premium and ultimate. This does come with the longer harness needed to support the crew model and the regular model. In 2025, the Polaris front bumper changed with the cutouts for the lights, and that's what this kit comes with for this specific bumper. So this works on 2025 and newer Polaris, at least for right now. Again, this is filmed in 2025. The 2026 has the same bumper. Again, you guys can read the features of it, what makes this different, but it's got the premium white and amber lights that fit in the front there. This kit comes with the horn as well as the hazard function, so you can blink all of your lights if you're in a bad situation. This will plug right into the pulse bar in the front of the Polaris, so no cutting of wires. And if you're like me and forget to, cancel something, it will automatically cancel the turn. You can also hook this directly to the dash for your indicator arrows, so you can see where you're turning. Pretty neat, honestly. This does tie directly into the back of the unit for the brake lights. Comes to you ready to go. They say it installs in under 3 hours. We're gonna see what happens here and how long it takes me to do it. Obviously it's gonna take a little longer as I'm recording this, but it's supposed to be a plug and play module. These guys are based out of Rice Lake, Wisconsin. I'll put links to their stuff down below where you can find it. And again, I'll give you my opinion on this as we go. Part number 641008. Again, I'll put links to this stuff down below. If I do use any affiliate links, just know I may make a small bit of commission on them, but it's of no expense to you guys, mainly if I'm using Amazon, just so you guys are aware. But it comes in a nice box, and Ravek does claim a lifetime warranty on the lights. So if they burn out or something, you just call them up and they're supposed to replace them for you. Now, this company does offer a turn signal, like you're used to on your regular cars, that you can mount underneath the steering wheel. I chose to not do that for now. I'm going to use what they have and just go from there, because you always can add it in later. This is just to give you guys an idea what's inside the box. It shows you where their UTVs are street legal, at least at this point. We're here in Iowa, so it's good to go. Gives you a quick 90-second install overview if you guys want to check this all out. And here is what's also inside. More information on their other Apex lights. Wasn't sure 100% what to expect here, but it looks like the mounts and the light itself, they are 3D printed. And I wasn't really expecting that. I was expecting molded brackets, so that's interesting to say the least. Suppose it works as long as they hold up. I wish they would let you know that. Not that 3D print is a big issue, but I wish they would disclaim, the fact that these aren't injection molded, because there are some weaknesses with these. But again, I guess we'll have to see how they hold up over time. Being in engineering, using, plastics like this, they aren't a one size fits all. But again, I wish they would disclaim that they're 3D printed, and we're just going to have to see how they hold up. I mean, again, too, cosmetically, they don't look quite as nice as smooth plastic would. And there are other companies that are doing this too, and maybe you could save yourself some money by using those. Another thing that I don't really care for is they're just kind of sit in the box, bouncing around. Scratch the lenses up prematurely. I know it's going to happen eventually, but still. I guess the only good news about these 3D printed brackets is I could reverse engineer them myself fairly easy and reprint them if they break. But for the cost of this kit, I was kind of hoping that I wouldn't have to do that stuff, right? I could have bought these lights myself, saved the money, and created my own bracket, but that's neither here or there. We're gonna get off that 3D printed kick. Okay, also in here, we've got some more bracketry. Oh goodness. Well, it sounds like Jiminy the Cricket's somewhere in the garage, so I'll apologize in advance for that, guys. I don't know what happened there. We do have some mounting hardware, some adhesives. We got some more clips to mount these on the front bumper. Looks like tail light wiring harness kit. We've got some synthetic grease and some alcohol prep pads. More stuff for the rocker switch installation in the dash. Another box. We got a toolbox sticker. And then the installation instructions. So it's basically what's inside of here. Inside of this box, which is the generic Ravek controller, mount below pulse bar under hood. Run through firewall. Well, this is just explaining what to do. Here's the horn. License plate bracket. Extension for the 4 doors. So we have enough length to get to the back. The relays and all the other controller stuff, the turn signals, the hazard switches, everything, all is plug and play. We got the rocker switch for the left and right turn. Again, you can see how it doesn't say stuck. You push it and it'll auto cancel. And then we have the horn and the hazards. Pretty nice. And then zip ties, some other stuff for the final installation. Okay, a lot of stuff here. Let's start digging into it. Again, I'm not gonna take you guys page by page through this manual, but it looks like you just need some generic things, some side cutters, push pin pliers, needle nose pliers, pick, Torx tips. It gives you the whole gist here on the front, what you need. And then again, very detailed step-by-step instructions. I'm gonna follow this and show you guys what I do as we work through this. And again, remember, I am installing these for now. I'm gonna see how I do or don't like these in the dash, and I may upgrade to the thing on the steering wheel in the future. We will see. We're gonna first start by removing this hood. Just rotate the pins, pull the hood back, set it to the side so you don't scratch your paint all up. Go ahead and disconnect the battery in the rear. We're gonna hop inside and we're gonna start pulling out push pins so we can put the, switches inside. Because I have yet to upgrade to the, air cylinders in the door, I've got my door propulator over here to keep this open. I can really like how Polaris has all this added stuff in here. We're gonna get some light in here so I can get you all to see what's going on. All right, hopefully you guys can see. We're gonna start by removing the push pins on the HVAC system and get this section pulled out here so we're gonna put the turn signal and the horn hazard here for now. And again, if I don't like it, we can put those back in, not a big deal. We are using a pair of push pin pliers. You can pick them about anywhere. There are 2 pins underneath here we need to remove before we can remove the ones. There are other types of pliers you can use to do this. These just work pretty well in my opinion. You can grab the connector and just pull it out. Oh, supposed to be able to pull all of it out. Don't worry, these things are cheap. You can buy replacements if you do break them, so don't be overly critical on yourself. I kind of really do like how Polaris put this together the way they did with the plastic dash and these push pins. Makes it easy to disassemble. All right, we should be able to just lift this up now. It should come out. I should just rotate out. All right, so we're in here to the heart of the beast. We're gonna go ahead and pop out the switches that we're gonna replace. All right. Easy enough. Open up the front window here just to give ourselves some breathing room and access. Well, the air conditioning is also on here. We're going to take out 2 push pins, one here to take off the dash part. Over here, when we lift this up, we're going to pull this out, lift up, and then we're going to unplug this main canister from the head unit. Set it to the side for now. And then in here, we need to remove the floor. There's a few pins. Oh, again, you get the idea. The instructions will tell you which pins to pull out. We got to remove this from inside of here. I'm going to go ahead and remove all of these push pins. So we got that centerpiece out on the floor. Just kind of got to rotate that out. We got the dash out, the box under the front seat. We've got this all loose. Again, you can see how we have that out in here. So what we need to do now is go to the back, take the back tunnel cover off. So we place to run our wires all the way through. So we're going to repeat basically what we did up front and remove this tunnel cover down here. Let me grab my light so you can see. Move this seat up out of the way. It's always a good idea to take pictures along the way if you don't know what you're doing. Or if you're concerned you can't put it back where you think it's going to go. Rear tunnel off. At this point, I'd say I'm probably about 30 minutes into this install, getting all the plastics out. Now we're ready to start putting the Ravek controller, in with all the wiring. We're gonna go ahead and unwind all of this stuff that we can or need to, and start getting it kind of put into place in here. I'm gonna go ahead and apply the adhesive to the back of this Ravek unit. We'll stick it up there when we're done. On this side, so bring it out. The right side, we're gonna feed it down right here. Try to keep it out of the way. This grill pulls out so we can get that out of the way so we can get easier access. When we're doing this, you wanna keep it away from the radiator as much as possible. Obviously, you don't wanna block any airflow. So just be cognizant of that while we're doing this. We're basically gonna run down through here, off to the side and out and over to this light. Routing it down here. Keep routing it down the grill area, and we're going to bring it out right down here on this bottom frame rail. So now comes the time to install the front lights. When you guys are running these down, the cables down, you only need this set. You don't need all of it because you'll just plug these two connectors together. And as you can see, well, the shape matches what we're putting them in. So basically, once it's installed, it will look just like this. Nice and clean. So to install these, you must put these clips on the inside. I'll try to get you guys in there to see it. And then tighten from the back side with a bolt to pull it into the frame. There are little notches inside the frame here. Let me get you up in there so I can see if I can show you. And slide them across the opening to give ourselves, well, if I can get some light in there. Okay, we got those in there. So now we're going to grab 3 bolts. They're going to go through just like this into the back and tighten down. And just so you know, these bolts are 10 M&Ms. You don't need the extension though, just a short little guy will do the job. Okay, tight. All right, she's mounted in there tight. Let's go to the other side. Those are installed and I think they look great. Now we're gonna go ahead and connect these 2 wires together, start zip tying stuff out of the way, and then we'll be done with the front lights. So we undid that cable, routed up through there, up along the side, behind the tabs and the radiator, up through the top, and we're gonna zip tie it off here so it can't be pulled back down. Okay, we're done with those. We can reinstall the front grille. Okay, That's back into place, easy enough. Headlights, or the actual lights are installed. So now we're gonna go ahead and shove this wiring harness through this hole here in the dash. It's a big grommet. You should be able to get it right through there. There should be some room. Gotta make sure it's untangled. Just push it. Just push it right through there. Should be able to grab it and pull it from the inside. See if we can find it. Kind of hard to see, there's a little white plug-in up in there. We're gonna grab that and pull it this way. And then we're gonna feed it down, because we need to go down through the dash, down, out, and below into this area here. Pull that wire through. That's too much. Okay. To the floor. So we can run it to the back. Get all that pulled down here we need. Okay. It's easy, okay. We're just gonna run that down along that loom. So we got it ran down here past this area, and she's gonna feed all the way down and across this. Hopefully you guys can see that. We're gonna come along this and we're gonna follow it all the way to the back. Pull that through, and we're gonna feed it out the back. I'm gonna bring it up here next to the battery and over the gas tank. You can see it, it's right back in there. It's hard to see from here, but I can grab it hopefully with my arm and bring it out this way. We're gonna hook it up over here. We've got it to the back. I think we're gonna have to get the extender on it so now we can reach everything else. We'll take this extension, we can plug it into that. It's here. Make it the rest of the way to the rear of the vehicle. Obviously, we're gonna have to zip tie this out of the way, keep it away from all the hot components. We'll probably zip tie it to the existing wiring harness stuff here and bring it up around to the back just so it looks nice and neat. This is the 8-pin TY harness that comes with the kit. You're gonna have to unplug the main one that comes back here and goes to the rear light, so you can tell because, well, the way that it is here. This also, not only does it link to the front controller, but it gives you options to add more, lights in the future, which is kind of neat. So we've pulled apart this rear connector. Now we just need to plug in the new one to split this off. Like so. All right, so now we have the main power to the back. We've got these extra wires that are capped off right now for accessory lights. And we're gonna have one more here that we'll be plugging into the actual license plate bracket. All right, let's keep our feet moving. We're gonna go ahead and mount this in here in the bracket in the dash. Pretty easy to install. You just, it snaps into place. We're gonna run these wires up in through the dash out the front, and so we can plug these in the main controller. All right, take the turn signal or the horn and the hazards. We're gonna put that on the far right here. That's where I wanna put it at. And again, in the future, I may tear this back apart and I might switch to the, over there on the steering wheel piece, the little lever, but I'm gonna try this out for now. Feed this through here. We're gonna snap it into place. Cool. I'll go ahead and do the other one, and we'll feed both the wires up front. Keep all your, OEM pieces. You always can switch back. Make sure when you're doing this, you can read Ravek so you know what is up and down, which one's left, right. Okay, those are installed in the dash. Let's go ahead and feed these back up through that hole in the dash here. but we'll make this a little bit easier. So I can just jam this through there and pull them back nicely, of course. And you can see it up there, so we're just going to hook these in through that little hook, and we're just going to pull it back through carefully. Very carefully. Harder, but faster, but slower. But harder, but faster, but slower, but carefully. I want to grab something else we're not supposed to. Carefully get them out, just like that, and we got those through. Now, which one was which? Oh, that's right, they labeled them for us. How about that? So we're gonna go ahead and pull those wires the rest of the way through. We will come over here to the box, and we're gonna switch to, where is it at? Horn hazard, there. Let's turn switch. This one is horn hazard. Horn hazard. Plug those together. We've got these two here. All right. We'll definitely have to take some time to pretty all this up when we're done. This is where we're at for right now. So at this point, all we have left to do now is actually plug it in and hook it into the switches in the front, or the this here pin connector for these two units. And we're gonna have to get this up, around, and into that area, which might be a little bit of a bugger. So we might have to take this section out, which it doesn't talk about in the instructions, but we might have to take the command station out so we can do that easily. All right, let's go check on the inside, see what I can see. Oh, I got lucky and grabbed it. How about that? Would you look at that? I got it there. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Putting up the back side here. Opens up this. And I guess I just jam these in here. Oops. Using a pick. Again, never done this. I need to make sure I look at the instructions to see which one goes where. Remember, I taped the one side. Well, I taped the two together. But I taped the one side so I knew it was the right signal. You wouldn't have to do this, but it's kind of nice to see on your dash which one you got illuminated, if you know what I'm saying, because it's in the dash from the factory, so why wouldn't you want to do it, right? That's the way I'm looking at it anyways. We just push this in here. Is it really that easy? I'll be dipped. It's not so bad at all, actually. I didn't know what to expect, but that was actually fairly easy. Just gotta line all the pins up with each other, put that cover back on, and plug it in. Huh. That's done. Huh. Who knew? Okay. Now I can plug the dash back into that. Whoop. Because again, the dash already has the lights in it. You guys can see up here where the indicators will be at. We'll be able to test that out here in a second. Okay. Now I just need to plug the horn in, mount the horn, plug the power in, and then basically we can test everything out. So just to make sure the horn works and everything does, we're going to plug it all together. I'm going to plug the power into the main bar over here now that everything is done. Hook the battery back up. It's nice because the way Polaris does this, she's ready to go. All we got to do is take out the plug on the pulse bar here. I think that's what they call it. Plug this in. We should have power to this, so we could try everything out now. Put the power into the main bar over here now that everything is done. Hook the battery back up. It's nice because the way Polaris does this, she's ready to go. All we got to do is take out the plug on the pulse bar here. I think that's what they call it. Plug this in. We should have power to this, so we could try everything out now. We're going to get this all prettied up, but I want to make sure it's all working before I get too far. Turn the key on. Got lights on in here, so I should have the right blinker. Looks like we do. Left blinker. Yep, it's working. Dash light's working. That's freaking cool. Yep, they're working. Double check that the rear turn signals are working. So this should be right, left. Oh, turn the hazards off here. Our left signal. Left signal's working. Right signal. Right signal's working. Everything's working. Awesome. Try the horn. That's pretty cool as well. All right, now everything's working. Shut the key off. Start getting some stuff cleaned up, prettied up. Guess I never did see what these look like when the key is on. They're just nice marker lights. It's cool, so you don't have to even have these headlights on if you don't want to. You're driving with these on. Those are nice and bright. Beautiful. So now we have it all. Oh, turn this light off, so it's not strobing. So now that we have this all installed, let's go ahead and put the plastics back in the reverse order we took them apart, and we're going to clean up the wiring up front here. All right, I went ahead and prettied this all up. I have the horn mounted on this side. I just used one of those screws and tied it into one of the openings here in the accessories mounting. I went ahead and put the relay down here, again, mounting the same way. I mounted to the Ravek controller here where the other accessory spots could be. I was going to tuck it up under there, but I decided I like this a lot better. Probably, honestly, the only things I'm maybe going to add to this are speakers at this time and maybe a light bar in the future. But these headlights on here are already great. And worst case is I mount the relays over here. There's way more spots to mount them anywhere else inside this cavity. I've got everything tucked in and zip tied together, keeping it in nice bunches. There's a fair amount of extra wire, but if you can figure out ways to keep it away from the heat sources inside of here, you know, this is basically how I ended up. And I'm very happy with how it's set up overall. You know, there's just a lot of wire and things happening for all these switches. But again, I think it's a fairly neat install. It is plug and play. Just the highlight on the 2025 version, you can't really run up through there like I talked about through that grommet because the front cover hits on the wire when you try to put it back in. There's no opening. It's sealed off. So I had to run it through the outside here, up through these tubes. Basically on the outside, I fished it up, pulled the wire up through a grommet hole back here in the back. So if you guys can kind of see it down here. So when you're doing that, make sure you're paying attention to how to get those rear wires back there because you can't get that bottom tunnel cover back on it. Ask me how I know. Just to give you one last look at it, we ran the wiring harness up into here. We ran it down over and zip tied along this main harness down here under the seats. Under this main tunnel in the back. Up and under through all of this. Up through the dash. And up front here to be hooked in. We then brought it through this back grommet and up through a hole straight down there. Brought it all up here, wired it all into the main Ravek controller, mounted the horn, the different relays and such, zip tied it all together, and ran the wires down to the mounted in bumper lights. We installed these two little toggle switches for the turn signals and the hazards and horn. They do sell a kit where you can mount it over here next to the steering wheel, but for now, we're not going to do that. I don't mind this how it is. It did take me about 4 hours to get this done, which is a little bit longer than advertised, but there was a few things I was trying to figure out that wasn't so clear in the instructions and also on the online video because the crew cab model is a little bit different. Now, one thing I am extremely displeased with, not from the fact that I really need to use it, but this mounting bracket for the license plate. It does have a spot in the back where you wire it in, but I have no idea where this is supposed to go. Like, it doesn't match up anywhere on the back. There's no bracket to attach it to. Nothing in the instruction video, nothing in the instructions. And so the rest of the extra connectors have a cover on them. I'm gonna have to find some dummy end to put on that one. For now, I put some white electrical tape on it to protect it, but that's just, you know, to me a little frustrating. So for now, we've got this all wrapped up. I'm gonna throw the hood back on. I'm gonna have to give this thing a nice little wash because it's dusty. That's all right. I've been driving on the gravel, which is why I bought the cab model. Wiring is all finished. Let's go ahead and look at how this all works. Let's go ahead and take a look at the front here. Let me turn the key on so you guys can see it. So if you just turn it on one click, it will turn on the front lights there for the marker lights, daytime running lights, right signal. If you click it once, it stays on for 20 seconds, 2 times 40 seconds. You get it there. It just keeps adding on to it. It will automatically stop after 20 seconds, or if you want to cancel, you can just click down once. Hazards, they work really well. Again, just click and make it shut them off. The horn, nice and throaty, nothing super crazy, but hey, get out of my way, I'm coming through. So if I turn this on now, not going to start it, you'll see the headlights and the front lights turn on. Again, just give you an idea of how it looks. Let's take a look at the back. I'm going to show you something kind of neat with the brakes. I will do this again outside so you guys can see it, but when you hit the brake pedal, it'll do this. Flashes just for, you know, extra awareness, and then goes back to a steady beam. Pretty neat. Now, obviously, when you shut the lights off, everything shuts off. The headlights have a slight delay when we shut them off, much like a car does. But that's the gist of it. It is all installed. All I gotta do is go try it out on the road. I'll take you guys along on that. I really like how these things look. Let's turn the signal on. White signal. Turns the dash on. And we can see that we are turning right. It will stay on for about 20 seconds and then shut off. Or you can cancel it inside. Same thing with the hazards. Turn those on. See the front hazards. And the rear blinkers. So that is going to wrap it up for today's install video. Overall, a great setup. Like the kit. You know, not as big of a deal, but these inserts are 3D printed, so keep that in mind. They do look fine though. Can't complain too much. I would definitely buy it again. This is a great kit for the money. Seems like high quality products, and we'll have to see how long they last. I will put links down below where you guys can find this stuff. Hope you guys found this video informative and helpful. I'll catch you on the next one.